before my family gets home. And I thought I would do a very, very quick live just to get some practice in, to do a little warm up. This is going to be on the back of a piece that I didn't not end up liking at all. I like the colors, but I did not like how it came out. No. Anyway, it's arch paper, 100% cotton. So using the back side will work perfectly. I am out of all my reusable tape that I reuse, so I'm going to grab some fresh tape. Again, I have 10 minutes. So let's just do something quick, something peaceful, something that what I would treat as a warm-up. Maybe some play with some colors. I do have these 4 dot cards in front of me that I just got from Redbud. I could play with those. The colors are Amethyst, Marjoram, Adobe, and Desert Night. Why don't we give those a little go and see if I can go with those or add something in. Okay, I have quite the glare, so I'm gonna go ahead and close my curtain real quick. Hold on. It's not gonna take it away completely, but it'll give me a little bit less glare. Okay, so let's go. I'm gonna spray my paper with my spray bottle I always keep handy. I literally have 3 or 4 spray bottles right next to me. I was not kidding when I use spray bottles. So again, I have these 4 dot cards. These are the 4 colors. I thought randomly, let's just play with these since they're right here and I have them. So I don't love working from dot cards. I think they're kind of a pain to work from, but let's give them a try. These are from Redbud. She hand makes watercolors and they're beautiful colors. And yeah, I love her colors. So here we go. Adobe, kind of an orangish color. And I might need to grab some other colors from her. Yay, welcome, welcome. Good to see you. All right, glad you can join. I'm gonna grab Apricot Zinnia because it's a yellow and I don't have a yellow and I do need a yellow because, I love my glows lately. Let's make sure we get some glow in the middle there. Okay, this is gonna be a quickie. It's only gonna be 10 minutes. My family's on their way home. I even called real quick. I'm like, where are you? They're like, on blah, blah, blah hill. I was like, okay, how long do I have? do I have 15 minutes? They're like, nope, probably 10. I'm like, okay. I can do it, right? So it's just gonna be a quick kind of a warm up, hopefully a little bit calming. So I slowed myself down. I get excited. Watercolor makes me excited. I can't help it. But those of you that know me already know this. I get very excitable over watercolor. So again, these dots are a little difficult to use. Some of the things that you can do, you can tape them down to a piece of paper. You can pop that dart off and put it in a pan if they're the right size. That's what some people do. I tend to use them once or twice to play with them, and then I put them away and I never get them out again. No, they're just kind of a pain to work with for me. But they're super handy to test out colors. Like these 2 colors, I'm loving these simple colors together. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just getting kind of a base down for myself, and that kind of gives me, it's kind of like an outline, right? It kind of gives me what I want to do, or it can lead me into the next direction. So I do this with all my paintings. I try to get some sort of base down to kind of figure out where I want to go, what direction I want to head in, and then, like I said, it can tell me, I'm kind of guided by that, and that will tell me where to go next. Okay, so since I have this horizon line that I've kind of created, I'm going to also kind of duplicate what I have down here. I'm just going to give it kind of a yellow area down here. This is kind of a yellow ochre-ish color. And I say ish because I often don't want you to run out and buy whatever paints I'm using. If you like to, I can absolutely give you the maker and the brands and all those things. But I do like you to use what you have because I know this can be frustrating as you're learning and, buying all the things that people say work and they don't always work. And, good paint's not going to magically make you a good artist, or a good practicer, right? The practicing makes you a good artist, right? Or a good practicer. I don't think that's a word, but you know what I mean. Gives you the practice. Your best practice is your daily practice, right? So the more you can put in the time, even if it's 5 or 10 minutes a day, even 5 or 10 minutes a day is perfect. That's all you need. You just need to sit down and do it. If you can, I do work in my kitchen, so I have my stuff out in my kitchen at all times, which isn't ideal, right? It's not ideal. And I do this full time. This is my full-time thing. I do this all all the time, right? I'm working on this stuff constantly, whether it's on my phone, whether it's painting, whether it's editing, whether it's working with a collaboration with somebody, whether it's talking, answering emails, not emails, but answering direct messages, messages if I can talk myself, comments on all the different platforms, Facebook, YouTube, Threads, Instagram, all the things. So it is a full-time thing for me to do all these things, and it has become quite my obsession. I'm not necessarily proud of that fact. My husband's like, when are you going to paint? And I often like, I know, I just want to paint. That's all I want to do. I was just talking to actually Brooke, who is the maker of these paints. And I was just saying that I, sometimes just really miss just painting, trying to figure out the financial end of this and how to make it, something for me that, since I am using so much of my time, it makes sense to, make this work financially for me as well. I'm just using so much time. It's ridiculous. And I know that's my choice, and I have a choice in doing that, but I also have a choice in, trying to figure out what works and how to make that work for my family financially as well. Kids are getting older. I also like it because it gives me a purpose. It gives me, a direction too. And I like direction. I am not a hugely doting mama. Like, I'm not like my kids are not my whole entire life, right? I'm a little more balanced than that, I'd like to think. I wasn't in the beginning. I was very much all my kids or nothing, that was it. And I didn't have time to myself. Or I didn't make time for myself as much as I do now. Now I really do. Okay, so the glare is horrible. I know, we're just painting. We're just trying to kind of see what's happening here. I know that lighting. I know I can't do anything about it right now. If I go outside, I can roll up my window. But I'm just going to add I'm going to grab a liner brush, Christy Rice's liner brush. I'm going to add something darker. Let's go with this color. I just rearranged all my colors, so I have no idea what is where. I'm just going to add some of these little darker areas in the background. Suggestions of foliage going on back there. Just little bits of something, or, something out of nothing. Just a little bit, so that you can see something's going on back there. And then we'll add a little bit to the foreground. Let's see, I'm going on 7 minutes and 30 seconds. Trying to keep this under 10 minutes. So not as calm as I would like to with the time constraints. We're going to go a little bit darker. I am using my liner to add these darker. Sometimes when your paint is really, really, really wet like this, it's best to use something small like a liner, or maybe a round size 2, so that you can get enough pigment on your brush and not a lot of water, right? Because if my paper is really wet right now, and how wet it is, it's not going to take much paint. It's just going to disperse. My lighting is terrible. My apologies. Let's see if I turn off this light, if it helps at all. Nope, doesn't work. Oh, good. Oh, good. Is rewatching a word? I think it is, right? Rewatching has to be a word, because I rewatch everything. I watch it, then I rewatch it, then sometimes I just listen to watch. Sometimes I just turn it on in the background so that I have like somebody back there. I was doing the summer, Pigeon Litter's summer creative retreat thingy, and I was just literally listening. I don't think I did any of the classes. I just listened, kind of like just to see how the personalities were and all that kind of thing. Oh, my lighting. I wish I could change that for you right now. Oh, it's so bad. You know what? Let me grab this book and see if I can pop this book up and block some of it. Oh, ooh, is that going to work? Let's see if I can just make shift. I can make shift. Oh my gosh, it's so much better. Okay, now I know for future references. The kids were reading a soup cookbook. I'm gonna just put that up right in front of my camera. And that's working so much better. Okay, let's splatter just a little bit of color. Let's take some sort of pink. Whoop, there we go, if it slid. Oh, the joys of working with things as you go. Okay, let's get back on here. Let's splatter a little bit just down here. Let me grab my paper. That's okay. It's real life over here. I promise you, I'm a real human. Nothing's perfect over here. Okay, splattering some pink down in here. Not my favorite decision. So these colors, these paints are super granulating, and the way I use them with water, they're going to just really, you can see all the like the little not pixelation for lack of a better word, but just all the little granulation going on, right? And so what I like to do when that's heavily like that, I like to add darker puddles of paint. This will disperse as well, but it also adds that contrast that I feel that this needs when it is this granulating, right? So what I can do is go back in here and add trees if I'd like, just to add some more, just more in general, right? I can just add little textures and little scribble lines, literally scribble lines. And again, this is still so wet that everything's still going to move. Nothing's going to stay exactly how it is. And so that we can use that to our advantage, right? So if you don't like your scribble lines, give them a second, because odds are they'll kind of just blur out and become maybe something else, right? Or a little less intense, or a little less just anything. So what I'm doing is I'm just darkening up some of these orange areas that I did drop in some orange, and some of these pink areas, giving them a little bit of contrast. Okay, what are we doing? Oh, 11 minutes. I went over my time. Okay, I'm gonna dry real quick. We'll add some splatter, we'll add some birds, and we'll just call it. Before we do that, I think what we'll do is just take a little bit of, maybe a little bit of green, and just sort of, uh-oh, don't love that, but that's okay. I just kind of add some texture to that yellow. I feel like the yellow was kind of like a sunny side up egg just sitting in the middle there. Looking kind of weird, but that's okay. Just change it a little tiny bit. There we go. Okay, now back to drying. Okay. Yes. Quick, simple. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I think that making yourself stop sometimes and giving yourself a time limit can really kind of help. Maybe trying to be too fidgety, right, and too detail-y, or too much, right? We often second guess ourselves. We often try to like fix things and make them perfect. They don't always have to be, right? Sometimes they can just be. And I'm super guilty of it. I would fiddle with this for easily 10 more minutes. Easily, if I had it. But I fear that my driveway ringer is going to go off any second. So I'm going to try to. I'm not going to talk when I do my birds. Okay, always make them too heavy. Okay, there's the two birds. I've got my shimmers out, ready to pick a shimmer. I'm just going to pick a quick one. I'm just going to do probably a simple gold, just to save some time. I'm going to grab my round size 4, even though I had my round 6 all wet and clean, but actually, you know what? I'll use this coppery color since we went with those. And with these, what I do want to do is cover everything up, because this stuff really likes to fly. Okay, so I'm going to get my copper pretty soupy. I'm going to bring this down all the way. I'm going to splatter my copper on there. And it should kind of pop nicely against the darker green color. Maybe not perfectly, but that's okay. Again, not going for perfection. Rinse my brush. Take my covers off. Set my shimmers aside. Stand up and take a look to see if there's anything I'd want to change. Well, you know, there's stuff I changed, but again, I'm just going to try to let it go for now. Get these out of the way. Let's take our tape off. And I didn't press down very good. Look at that. Brand new tape, and I got pretty hardcore bleeds. So you do want to make sure you press your tape. And I'm using inexpensive tape right now. My cheap tape, I'm still trying to get rid of it. I've been trying for a long time. But when I like something, I buy a lot of it. And originally I did like this tape, and then I found a tape that was 20,000 times better. And so now I'm stuck using all this tape. So there we go. There's the shimmers. Kind of super simple, like you said, not super detailed, but it works for now. So a little warm up, a little quick warm up. So I invite you all to try a quick little warm up and see what you can come up with, what colors you end up using. And on that note, I will see you next time. Maybe I'll add some trees and I'll post to my Instagram and see. I think it needs a little more something back there. Let me know what you guys think. All right, I'll talk to you later. Bye, and thank you.